Alright, today we're going to take a look at checkmating with a king and two bishops. This, of course, is an in-game strategy. Very rare to wind up with two bishops at the end of your game, but let's have a look at it anyway because it's kind of tricky and it's sort of fun. Alright, now me personally, I break this down into three separate parts. One is developing the bishops, two is connecting the king, three is using the king and the bishops for the checkmate. Now step one, of course, would be to attack the center squares. If we are attacking two of the four center squares, logically the king will get out of the way and just go over one square. Now, of course, the king is going to be as difficult as possible and try to stay as close to the four center squares of the board as possible. Now, bishop g2 attacks the remaining two center squares of the board. So now all four squares are being attacked, subsequently forcing the king out of the squares. The next step is to occupy the four center squares of the board with your bishops. So, we now have a bishop occupying one of the four center squares. Of course, the king will be as stubborn as possible through this entire exercise. We join our two bishops together. Now, I tell my kids, use the buddy system. Keep them talking to one another. This way they can communicate. Now, we see how strong the line is for the bishops. Look at how many squares on the entire board the bishops control. They control all of these. They control all of these. They control all of these. So it's leaving very few squares for the king to run to. So right now, the king is only left with these squares. He's got a very small world at this point. Now the next step, of course, okay, well, first of all, king's just going to be stubborn again. The next step, of course, is to decide where we want to herd the king. If we put our king on this side, we're going to herd the king this way. If we put our king on this side, we're going to herd the king this way. But that decision doesn't get made until once we get the king to the 8th rank of the board. So, of course, the king is just going to be obstinate and attack the square that we actually want to go to. So what we need is called a waiting move. This move waits out the king so that we can regain our tempo and get to the square that we wanted to get to in the first place. Now, in doing this, Tim, this is where you'll edit. In doing this, we and that's the purpose of a waiting move. So, king steps to the side. Now we've gotten where we want to be. I call this the scoop. This is what we tell the kids. It's called the scoop because we're scooping king over to the corner. Now, this square is being attacked. This square is being attacked. This was attacked. So we've actually made a cup. Now, king's got to climb out of the cup. We love metaphors. Love metaphors. Anything to help a child remember. Alright, now, what we're doing is we're walking. Bishop walking with the king. And we're moving all three of our pieces slanted in this direction. We're going to start with the outside bishop. So we're going to go outside bishop, then we go inside bishop, then king. But for now, it's this king's turn to move. Again, being obstinate, not trying to go to the corners or edges of the board. Then we go inside bishop. And when I say outside, inside bishop, what I mean is this is the outside bishop. You know, it's like an Oreo cookie. This is one side, one end is the cream filling, or a Twinkie, whatever you need to get you through that. All right. So this is the outside bishop. Inside bishop. King would love to be obstinate, but he puts himself in check. So he's got to step on over here. And then king. Now it's important to know that once this king makes it to the 6th rank, he doesn't go to the 7th rank. He never touches the 7th rank of the board when we're checkmating with the king and two bishops. Once again, we've created the cup. Here is the cup right here. And the king must climb out of the cup. let's say he goes straight up. All right, now, in this portion, what we want to do is put our king in opposition with the other king. So, let's say, of course, he doesn't want to go to the corner. That's not very wise, so he's going away from the corner. Now, even though we have opposition, it's our turn. We want to have opposition on. Oh, no. Again, I'm going to stay. Tim, another place to edit. Out of the cup. Now, we want our king ideally to be either here or here when we checkmate, because it needs to be attacking this square right here. The bishops will be taking care of this square, and this square. So we need our king to knock out this one square for us. So the king's gonna head on over there. Now, of course, this king is not gonna head on over there. Again, he's being obstinate, but that's okay. Why? Because our bishops still have this solid wall. All right, now, here's where it gets tricky. This is where all my students kind of, they get a little thrown off. What we have here is the king has to get over here to a6. But the king is protecting or attacking a very important square right now, d7. So if we go to get our king in position for the checkmate, we've set our king free. We've set the black king free. He's off of the back rank. We can't do that, right? So what do? A waiting move. All we want to do is encourage the king to not go here, not go here, not go here, not go here, but here. So let me just back up off of it for a second. All right, so now the king goes here. Now it's important to attack the squares behind the king. Now we're calling this behind the king because we want the king to go this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the same bishop, take him right here, and attack this square. He can't go here. He can't go here because of this guy. He can't go here because of the king. He's attacking the square that we needed him to attack. Of course he can't go here, so he has no other choice but to go right here. Now the kings are in opposition. This gives us a chance to have a bit of a breather. Now, we want to continue to attack the squares behind the king to force him over here. So, we want to attack this square. And we only got one guy that can do that job, and that's this guy right here. So, we're going to take him, put him right here on e7. We are now attacking this square. So the king has no other choice. Can't go here, can't go here, can't go here. Has to take a step on over. Now, it's time to attack this square that we discussed earlier. So we're going to step on over with the king in opposition. Once again, that's always a good breather. Being in opposition, you're nice and safe. For a second, you can collect your thoughts. I don't know, maybe knit a sweater, bake some Toll House cookies. Whatever, works for you. All right, so of course, king's never going into the corner on purpose. We know what's waiting for you in the corner. You're not going to go in the corner. You're going to try and run. That's fine. Run all you want. This is the portion I call the steamroller. We're going to steamroll him. We're just going to roll these bishops down this diagonal and force them over into the corner. Like so. Check. King can't go here, can't go here, can't go here, can't go here. Has no other choice but to go here. And we're just going to keep rolling. Check. Can't go here because of the e6 bishop. Can't go here because of the bishop and the king. Can't go here because of the king. Can't go here because of the king. Have no other choice but to go into the corner where checkmate awaits. And there we have it. King and two bishops. Checkmate. Thank you.